Hey, what's up guys? John from Mongo Fishing. Today I want to talk to you guys about my top February baits. Get these things purchased if you don't already have them and get ready to start throwing them. So if this is something that interests you, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button right down there along with the bell notification button so you get notified every single time I put out another video. But let's get into this. So first off, kind of in no particular order, let's go with a flat side crankbait. Now, there's gonna be lots of red in this video. Flat side crankbait like this Spro MD50. Now, this one's in Rayburn red. I'm a huge fan of this. I mean, like, it's red, dude. I've got a bunch of red. Flat sides like that MD50 or Strike King flat side or Berkeley Fritz side. One thing that you're noticing that, like, there's no rattle. No rattle. And that MD50 has a little bit of rattle. There's an MD50R also that has a rattle in it. That's what the R stands for. That's gonna be significantly louder. That's in this box. Let's just grab this one, I guess. So that Spro MD50R has a deep rattle. So I typically throw no rattle or light rattle when it comes to flat sides. Excuse me, when it comes to flat sides. So flat side crankbait, 8-foot diving range is one of my primary baits that I throw in February. All right, so moving on to something that does rattle, a trap. Okay, so traps, colors, where I want to throw them. So that MD50, I'm gonna throw those around rock transition banks. Rock transition, whether it goes from like bluff to chunk or, you know, basketball size down to gravel or whatever, it doesn't really matter. I want to fish that whole rock transition and try to find out pattern what these fish are on, which type of transition they're on. Sometimes you can pattern it and sometimes you can't. But rock transitions is primarily where I'm going to throw that flat side. All right, so for a trap or lipless crankbait, same thing, red. This one's a little Uzuri, but they're either going to be red or orange. I may have a shad pattern thrown in here and there, but 99% of the time, I'm throwing red. So red like that, or a Rayburn red, which has more gold in it. It's like Rayburn red. I think this is kind of a Rayburn red too, that first one I showed. Or maybe like a darker colored one. Orange if it's muddy water. So this little dude put out by Monster Bass if it's muddy water. Or like I said, a dark red if it's like a dark day, dark red, sunny day, Rayburn red, muddy water, orange. And then sometimes I might do gold also, or chartreuse. That's kind of a dark red. And I just had that chartreuse one. I don't know what I did with it. Oh. Or chartreuse belly if it's really muddy. So that's that. You got to play around with you know, finding one that you like. Different weights, they sink faster. You have some that have a little bit of rattle, a lot of rattle. There's high pitch rattles and deep knockers. Like, there's all sorts of different styles. You just got to find the ones that you like. And in the scenario that you like to throw it, maybe the fish don't want a lot of noise. Maybe they want that two-tap. You just kind of got to play around with it. Primarily in grass. That is a Lamborghini at the boat ramp. Don't really see that very often. So yeah, that's that. Play around with it. You know, grass. It's a good place to throw traps, lipless crankbaits, and find the color that seems to work best for you on your particular body of water. Okay, next up, the old Chatterwagon. I'm a huge fan of the Jackhammer. I know some guys don't like it, they don't believe the hype. I 100% believe the hype because it has outproduced any other bladed jig that I have thrown, for me personally. So, Jackhammer. Again, I'm going with that fire craw. Now this one's actually a custom tied one. I mean, it is a Jackhammer, but when fire craw wasn't available, I had my local jig guy, Danny from Brazalo Custom Lures. He, I bought him a regular Jackhammer. He cut the skirt off, fire crawed it up for me, and it has worked ever since. So Jackhammer, or he made me a fire craw Strike King Thunder Cricket, same thing. Trailer, the Strike King Rage Menace, or the Motivated Fishing Revelation Craw in fire craw. The other trailer I like is the Motivated Fishing Exodus Swimmer Pro. He has a fire craw version right there. So it's like a swim bait trailer kind of. And then he has one that's called Blaze, again for that darker, muddier water. There you go. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, now you just learned. But these two trailers, really garlicky, kind of put that scent along with flavor. When they get it, they really, really get it. So yeah, Strike King Rage Menace, Motivated Revelation Craw, and then those two Motivated Exodus Swimmer Pros. That's my chatterbait trailers. Okay, or bladed jig trailers. Of course you have to have a regular jig. Color is up to you. I'm a huge fan of black and blue or green pumpkin. This one, I think the official color, this is made by Brazalo also. I think the official color on this is Perfect Creeper. So I throw this, or peanut butter and jelly. Those are the three colors that I'm primarily going to have. I just happen to have this one tied on with black and blue, some sort of green pumpkin or Perfect Creeper, and then PB&J. Half ounce or better, typically. Trailer wise, like that is a Rage Craw. I had a PB&J earlier with a Speed Craw. Whatever it is, with cold water, you want to move it slow. You don't want to be bouncing it and hopping it and everything if you can get away from that. So something that doesn't have a bunch of kick and flop, because most crawdads are pretty slow moving. Again, if you saw my crawdad video, my Why Red Works right there, then you'll know that they don't go dormant, but they just slow down and get less active when the water's cold. So the same thing happens. They're out there, you know, still out and about and eating. They're just not moving around very fast. So you don't want something with lots of action in the wintertime when you're working a jig. You typically want to take it slow. Drag it instead of hop it. All right. Of course, if you have followed the channel for any length of time, you know that I put in work with a jerkbait in the winter and spring. So I gotta have a jerkbait on here. I like shad colors. I like whites. I like, there's one called Secret Shad. I'm a huge fan of. It's really good for small jaws, I think. I mean, largemouth eat it too. Let's not get it twisted. But Secret Shad, it's really good. It's got purple, a little bit of chartreuse on the belly. This thing flat out catches fish. Both of these are Jackal re-ranges. If I'm throwing white, I always like orange on the belly, whether it needs to be there or not. I'm a huge believer in orange belly, so if it's a mega bass, it's gonna be the white orange belly. If it's the Jackal re-range, it's gonna be the matte white, which is the only white one they have, so if I got the name wrong, it's fine, but it's matte white. It has a little bit of an orange chin. I just like orange. I think it gives the bass an opportunity, gives them a target to hit, because they're coming from below, right? And so I just think that extra little bit of color helps attract them to eat it. Also, if I have two jerkbaits tied on the same day, I like to have like one with light wire hooks and one with regular hooks. If you've ever watched a bass eat a jerkbait, they will inhale it and spit it back out, and you will never know you got that bite. So if you don't have sticky, just stupid, insanely sharp hooks, you're missing fish that you never even knew were there. So with ultra light wires, or sorry, light wire hooks, they're just so insanely sharp that the fish typically get stuck as soon as they go to spit it back out, or sometimes they get stuck when they inhale it. And so you're gonna get a lot more bites. Now with that said, light wire hooks have a tendency to, you can bend them out, you can straighten them. So back your drag down some, and you can go with lighter line because you have a backed down drag. So you can't muscle the fish the way you would with a more stout hook. You gotta let them fight. But if you do that, you're gonna lose a lot less, and you're gonna hook a lot more, because again, those hooks are insanely sharp. Tournament day, I'll typically replace all my hooks before the tournament, and then I'll keep extra hooks with me, and throughout the day, if I catch fish, like I'll check my hooks. I might replace hooks, you know, several times during a tournament, just to make sure I have the sharpest of hooks possible. So keep that in mind. Jackal re-range is probably my favorite jerkbait to throw. I know that 99% of the world would tell you that it's going to be the Megabass Vision 110. Vision 110 is my second favorite. I really dig the Jackal. And then of course, the thing that a lot of people don't like, but you better have one tied on if your state allows it, is the Arig. So this happens to be a Black's Custom Lures Widowmaker. It's a custom bait made here in Arkansas. Jamie has a website, I'll link that down below so you can pick them up, or you can pick them up at Fish and Stuff in Sherwood. All these baits can be picked up at Fish and Stuff in Sherwood. If they don't have it, then they can order it. I think the Jackal might be the only one that they don't carry in stock typically, but they can order it. So, and of course, I'm always going to tell you guys to buy local when possible, because local is what makes the world go around, right? You might spend a couple extra dollars buying local, but if you want to help the economy, the best thing you can do is buy local before you buy big box stores. So this one I have rigged up weedless. It's set on swim bait hooks. I have a whole assortment of different trailers. Right now I was playing around with some stuff today, just trying to find out which trailer the bass seem to want the most. So this isn't typically how I would fish it. Man, I tangled this thing up good just now. It isn't typically how I would fish in a tournament. I would have some more, I guess, standardization. But I literally have 5 different baits on here, just trying to find which color they seemed to like the most today. And it's also rigged weedless on either EWGs or swim bait hooks, just so it would get stuck a little less. Again, I was experimenting today, just trying to find some stuff. I added a couple little modifications to this, just trying to see if I can tweak it a little bit. But Arig, if your state allows an Arig, you got to have one. These things, you'll get beat every time if you don't, man. The guys that know how to fish an Arig can do really, really well. And if you're not throwing an Arig in a tournament where everybody's sacking them up on an Arig, then you're not fishing to win. That's just a fact. As much as it sucks, the Arig was a game changer, is a game changer, and if you're not throwing one, then you're just gonna get beat. That's about it, guys. The only other thing that I may have, you know, sometimes I'll have a spinnerbait tied on. Sometimes I might have to go to a shaky head. But what I gave you here is my typical starting lineup. Not necessarily in any particular order as to what I'm going to start with first, but those are the baits that I'm throwing in February. So, again, you can pick up all these at Sherwood, or at Fish and Stuff in Sherwood. Buy local if possible. If you can't pick them up there, then pick them up at your local tackle shop. If they don't have it, then your favorite online retailer. But try to buy local first. I think that is about it, guys. I can't think of anything else that I typically throw in February routinely. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment below. Let me know what your favorite bait to throw in February is. As always, get out of the water, be safe, and go stick some lips.